Hello, and thank you for joining me. This is Joanna, the Medium channel, and I'm Joanna. I am your medium and also an intuitive coach. These are going to be your general messages for September 2017. Few things before we go into your reading. First and foremost, thank you so much for coming back. For those of you who have been my loyal viewers, thank you so much for coming back, and thank you so much for purchasing your private sessions. I can't thank you enough. And I do what I do because I love helping all of you. So thank you so much. For those of you who are new, I hope that you find what you like here. Perhaps you were guided by a fluke to come to this channel, and hopefully the messages that you hear will resonate with you on some level. Because these messages are general, they will not resonate with all of you. And sometimes they will not resonate with you at all. Sometimes certain parts will resonate with you, and sometimes the whole message will resonate with you. And from my experience over the last almost 2 years of doing these videos, what I'm getting from you is that they're substantially turn out to be quite personal for you, and I love hearing that. But if you want a private session, of course, that information is down below for you. And for those of you who are getting back to me and asking me questions pertaining to the general message readings, I cannot get back to you and I cannot answer your questions because these are general. So it's impossible for me to tune in to every single individual. And even if someone does connect with me and ask me a question about a video or message in a video, it's impossible for me to get that information. Also, for information or for videos that are long term, you can of course go to my Vimeo On Demand page, where I have videos from July until the end of this year posted. That information is also down below for you. Also, on Monday, September the 4th, on my show, radio show, I will be interviewed by my beautiful friend Stephanie. She was on the show previously, and she's going to throw questions my way. I have no idea what they are. This is a complete surprise for me as far as what the content of her questions are. So stay tuned. This is going to be an exciting show because I have absolutely nothing as far as prep time. It's just going to be what it's going to be. So tune in. And for those of you who can't tune in, that show will be posted. I will post it on this channel, so it will be available for you to listen down the road. The information on the show, if you want to listen to it live, is also down below. And if you want to book a private session, there is a icon that will appear to you right there at the top, or there's information regarding my booking or the way to book appointments. Also, that information is down below for you. And you can see the name at the bottom of the screen, joannathemedium.com. You can go into my website or to my website and contact me from there. And last but not least, I am expanding, I am changing. Spirit is pushing me in a new direction, a more expanded direction. So over the next few months, you will see a lot of changes to my site, a lot of changes to the way I work, huge additions that will benefit you. So over the next few weeks, I will post a video on what those changes will be. And it's exciting for me because it's going to be offering a lot more services for you. So stay tuned. And I think that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for liking, sharing, for subscribing. I hope you like these videos, and let's go on and start your reading for September. Stay tuned. Hello, beautiful Scorpios. This is going to be a reading for the month of September 2017. I actually have 2, 4, 6 cards for you. One card I chose, I was prompted to choose. It's one of the cards that I used in the past. It's a soul deck. And I don't know what it is. I want to see with you together what the card is. It's not a tarot card. It's not even a divination card. It simply is something that will evoke me to hear certain things. So anyway, a lot of interesting energies and information. When I was shuffling cards and asking Spirit for channeled messages, there was quite a few things that I was receiving, so I'm going to share them with you. because they're separate little pockets of information that will apply to different individuals. One of the things that I keep seeing very, very clearly is that this is a time of wrap up. It's a time of completion, and at the same time, it's a time of nearly beginning something new. Now, the beginning of something new, it's an energy, so it will apply to various components in people's lives. It could be anything, jobs, relationships, change of status, careers, projects, anything that is starting new. At the same time, I'm seeing this a little bit towards, he's actually saying to me towards the end of October, and for some of you as much as far as November, but September is the beginning of that process, which also signifies that it is a time of letting go of things that no longer serve you. So what I wrote here is, I had a very clear vision of you rethinking or contemplating things that have been up until now. And this is very much an emotional component where you are looking back, taking the time to sit down, be by yourself, look back at your life and decide what it is that you want to take forward versus what you have had up until this point. There is a component of emotional attachment that needs to be let go. And this attachment would be to past hurt. So whether the past hurt has happened in a little recently, or it happened 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, depending on your age, it makes no difference. There is definitely an emotional component that is keeping you, some of you, still stuck. Many of you go all the way back to when you were a child, between the ages of 3 and 14. And also it can spread to other areas, but the ages of 3 and 14, that will cover quite a substantial number of you. What else did I write here? Endings. Okay, so the contemplation is about endings, and it's about letting something go. With some of it has to do with past mistakes. So if there is anything in your past that you consider a mistake, and you are still connected to it via feeling guilty, resentful, the whole proverbial I should have, I shouldn't have, to let that go, because it's a hook that is emotional hook that is keeping many of you stuck. And we all do this. Most of the time we don't even know it, but this is a deep emotional and psychological component that is keeping many of you stuck with regards to where you are in your life. And particularly this has to do in matters of relationship. And I want to go particularly with close relationships, not so much business, but intimate relationships, romantic relationships, significant others. So you may already be in an environment where you are coupled with someone, but that emotion is surfacing right now, or is being triggered. And actually, that's one of the cards that came up, and it's causing you a headache. And I'm actually getting a headache. Some of you may actually be getting headaches, particularly recently. I want to say in the last 9 months or so. And a lot of your headaches are emotionally based, and it feels almost like things are coming up to surface and you're trying to keep them down, and it's creating an internal pressure. Now, I'm not diagnosing with, and this is not a diagnosis, this is not saying that is the cause of everybody's headaches, but there is a psychological and emotional component to much of what many of you are experiencing, and it's called pressure. Pressures of life, pressure of the past, pressure of keeping your emotions down, or keeping them aside, stuffed, whatever you want to do, whatever we do, so that you don't want to face them. And this is a time of facing those things. I'm also being shown the card of Moon in a traditional tarot deck in my mind that basically says this is a time to face your fears. This is a time of letting things go that no longer serve you. I hear the word father for some of you. For some of you, it's the word uncle. So if some of you have had past relationships with the father where you are still emotionally emotionally attached to him in a negative way, in a way that is affecting you in your life, then it's time to face those fears. For some of you, I'm sad to say that it has to do with some kind of abuse, emotional, physical, spiritual, all of the above. So there is that component for many of you, they're saying here. And some of you guys will be men who are dealing with this and you are stuffing your emotions. But the word mistakes comes up. So if you feel you have made mistakes and because of this your life is got turned a certain way and it's maybe not as positive as you would have liked, you need to release yourself from that prison, because that whole thing called guilt or blaming yourself does nothing positive for you going forward. The other thing I kept seeing was, they actually said, be brave and wise about your next move. And for many of you, this is an important move. Now, this move may be starting a brand new relationship. It could be starting a brand new career. The number 8 was shown to me with this. So for some of you, this could be, the number 8 is somehow significant. But to me, the energy of the number 8 signifies that whatever the new thing is, whatever the new endeavor path is very substantial, and it has the ability to be very prosperous for you and very abundant. Abundance is not about money, just about money. Abundance is about relationship, feeling abundant in your love life, feeling abundant in your financial house, feeling abundant in your health. So whatever the next step is, or the next process towards a certain step, there's a substantial energy with this. That's why they're saying be brave and wise about your next move. So bravery is all about taking a chance, and it's all about, if I can't do it, and it's saying, you know what, I'm just going to do my best. I'm just going to put my foot forward and see what happens. And wise, it's about being mindful. And the message comes, be careful what you ask for. So if you are trying to manifest, for example, a relationship, make sure you are ready. And we'll talk about the readiness here, because it may very quickly come to you in the next couple of months, and it might be a bit of a shock to you because you think you're ready, but actually emotionally you're still stuck to some past memories that are holding you back, and it might feel a little bit daunting. So the set of cards talk about this. The other thing I kept seeing is, they said to me, don't forget to have fun. So many of you need to learn how to take time out, how to decide consciously to take time away for yourself without feeling guilt, and also learn how to delegate and segregate things that will allow you to have pockets of time throughout day, month, whatever, that are just about you. And I'm going to say be selfish in that way. And that's just the way I'm going to leave it. So that is really important. Then the image I saw, which didn't make any sense to me, but I saw very clearly a child on a swing and a parent being playful with the child on a swing, and it kept going on for quite a few seconds. So I wrote it down because there's something important here about this vision. This could basically be saying, your child needs more attention. You need to be more like a child in a sense. So it's a playfulness. It could also signify that you, for some reason, I'm actually seeing a vision of something that has happened or is about to happen, but somehow this is very important, because the feeling I get with this parent toward this child, there is this, it's almost like I haven't seen this child for so long, and there is this building of a relationship through fun activities. Okay. So for some of you, this might be about adoption. For some of you, this may be that you haven't seen your child for quite some time. And for some of you, this may mean that you need to develop a brand new relationship with your child through fun activities. And the child may not necessarily be young the way I see it, but it is a child-parent type scenario. And they said to me, this is really important. So I'm going to leave that to those of you who it makes sense to. The other thing I kept seeing is you starting a brand new journey with a child. And that was a separate vision. So it's interesting because it can mean so many things, but I saw you driving, which signifies to me a journey, and the child was right in front of you. So you were in the protective stance, having this child in front of you, so the child felt protected. So this could be so many things, but one of the things that comes up to me is you starting a brand new journey with a child, with your child. Your child may be starting a brand new journey, and you are very much in a process of being there. And your child could be anywhere from 1 month to 18 years old or older. There's some kind of new journey with a child, and not child exactly young, but your child. So that's what I kept seeing. Now let's go with the cards fairly quickly because I'm already looking at the time. So the overall energy, when I asked for the cards, 3 cards popped up together, all of them at once. The first card you have is the Hierophant in reverse. And what this is talking about is feeling restricted and also challenging the status quo. So the restriction is very much within you. The restrictions and challenging the status quo is about looking at what has been your foundation, belief-wise, and challenging it and asking yourself, is this really something that I want to move forward with? Is this really for me? And it actually resonates with what I saw at the very beginning, which was you rethinking and reevaluating and contemplating about letting some things go. So if you have been bound by a very restrictive sets of beliefs, I feel many of you will release yourself from that, almost as if you are releasing yourself from the chains that have been keeping you stuck or in a prison. So that's one component. The next card is about the Hangman in reverse. So this is all within. This is Major Arcana. This is all what's happening within us. And this particular card talks about feeling indecisive about some kind of, I want to say, a new beginning. And the card actually comes up next. So there's a feeling of being indecisive. There's a feeling of delays. The card also talks about being careful not to be a martyr. Martyr, I always make fun of myself with this, and many of you have actually told me how to pronounce it, and I keep this. The word just escapes me. So, martyr, M-I-M-A-R-T-Y-R. So be careful not to be a martyr. But there's definitely a feeling of indecisions. And those 2 cards, what's going on with my throat here? Some of you can't speak. Those 2 cards signify that there's a challenge here going on within you, almost a bit of a battle, I would say, with regards to where to go next. What is it that I want for myself? What is it that I have always believed? Is what I've always believed really what I want to hang on to? Because it's kind of not serving me. And that also has to do with letting go of the past attachments and the past emotional trauma and past things that we've done wrong, and basically letting things go. So there's a bit of a confusion going on. It's almost like the image I have is we move forward, but sometimes in order for us to move forward, we need to take a step back to reevaluate, to clean things up, and then just have a huge leap forward after. So it's not a step backwards, although it may feel like for some of you, but it is a bit of a delay. And the next card that popped up together with those cards is the Ace of Pentacles. So to me, this card indicates delays. Delays about starting something new. I hear the word project. So for some of you, this could be around work. This could be around a significant other. This could be delay around starting a relationship. And I think it's because you need to deal with some stuff regarding your past first. And the delay is because you're not quite ready, and it funnels into the message again when they're saying to me, be brave and wise about your next move. And this is the next move. This is the next move. And in reverse position, it only tells me that there is a slight delay, which will transpire about the month of October or November for some of you. So the next card, Colette Reed's card, we have the card of unfinished business. How appropriate. Oops, just going to put it this way. And the card is in reverse. So this card actually talks about stuff coming up into the surface from your past. It is about, what did I write here? Because I spent quite a bit of time on you. What did I write here? And it's also number 10, which is interesting because number 10 is very much a completion. It's tying up basically loose ends and letting go of things that are not serving you. You may feel like some emotional things come up to surface and you may get emotionally triggered, and sometimes you may not even know why you're feeling what you're feeling. The idea here is to allow yourself to feel this instead of stuffing it, and then let it come out of you without choosing to fix it, do anything about it, without trying to make sense of it, without trying to control it, without trying to, stuff it in a garbage or kill it, whatever you want to do, or whatever that we usually do. This is about truly feeling things that come up to surface, because what they're showing me here is you're in a process of transformation and a transition. Very much like a snake that sheds its skin, it's a process of rebirth, and you are in that state right now. And as you move from the cycle 9 to 10, so 9 is endings, 10 is boom, we're done, and right after is the 0 and the 1. So what this is saying here is as you move forward, as you evolve, your energy wants to rise higher or wants to vibrate higher. As your energy starts to vibrate higher, it'll bring up emotions that are lower frequency. So sadness, anger, resentment, hatred, all that stuff, pain, all emotional pain, all that stuff is a low vibrating frequency. So in order for us to move into a lighter state filled with the heart emotion, which is love, all the good stuff will come up to the surface for you. Don't be afraid to feel this. What happens is we don't like to feel things that are not happy, that don't feel good, because it's uncomfortable. A feeling isn't going to kill you. There is no death behind feeling something emotionally, I'm talking about. So allow yourself to feel this. Sometimes it literally takes few moments, and I'm literally talking 5, 10, 15 minutes to allow yourself to feel. And if you need to cry, if you need to punch the pillow, if you need to, whatever it is, scribble on a piece of paper how much you hate something, whatever it is important for you to feel, because when you allow yourself to feel, it is amazing how quickly it dissipates, because you bring it up to surface and you digest it. So that's why they're saying, don't be afraid to feel this. You don't have to do anything about it. It doesn't have to make sense to you. You don't have to fix it. Just allow yourself to feel it so that it can go through you and out of you. And I promise you, you'll feel different. And I've done it a gazillion times, and I still do it. The next card is the Ganesha card. It's a protection card. And basically the message is about the same. And it talks about past memories and triggers coming up to surface. So basically those two cards talk about the same thing. And what this is basically saying is, as you go through this period of transition, know that you are divinely guided, and know that you are divinely protected. There's nothing to be afraid of with regards to what you're facing emotionally speaking. And if you keep things bottled in, eventually they're going to affect your health. And for some of you, it is already affecting your health. I'm starting to feel a few things. Headaches, feeling dizzy, vertigo is coming up to my mind, problems with your back, and obviously there can be an organic component, because back also stands for stability or lack of having stability. There's various components that can psychologically or organically create in our bodies when we don't allow ourselves to express certain emotions. So know that you are on the path of a brand new beginning, and that requires you to let go of some things, not by forgetting it that it exists, not by killing it or fixing it, or not by pretending it doesn't exist, but actually by facing it, feeling it, and saying, okay, I'm gonna feel this for a few moments, and then I'm just going to let that go. Okay, some of you, it may help to write a journal, to write things on paper. Typically speaking, this is generalization, I understand, but typically speaking, guys don't do journals. So for, guys, if you're listening to this, allow yourself to feel. I know men typically don't want to feel, because that's the older generations, my generation and older generation, they were not taught to feel. Guys or men were always told, boys were always told, be tough, don't be like a girl, don't show emotions. And that's just a terrible thing. But we are evolving to be a much more in tune human beings, not only logically but also heart and intuition and emotion. So now let's move on to the card. My God is asking me to wrap it up. Now is the card that I have that I didn't see. Wow. Okay. So this is the card. Some of you hate these cards, and that's okay. I totally have respect for that. But I love doing these cards because I don't have to read anything. This is exactly where I get stuff. It's the best thing for me. Anyway, this is two halves or two people. And when I tune into this card, I hear the words, let go of resentment. I also feel that many of you have disconnected from aspects of you for self-protection. Now, when I say disconnected, this is suppressed emotions. This is not feeling, allowing yourself to feel. This is like, I'm going to use the term inner child. You have pushed that side away from you because it's connected to a lot of pain. When we disconnect from aspects of ourselves, we can never truly function as a whole being. So this, to me, that's what it represents. Now, it can, for some of you, notice what comes for you when you see this. This can signify that this is a union between two people, that they're coming together, and there is a merging of emotions. So there is very much a component of healing. The hands up here, to me, say, trust the process. Know that you're okay. Trust the process. The closed eyes to me signify, they tell me this is done through process of contemplation, process of inner awareness, and process of going within and allowing yourself to literally purge. Okay, so a beautiful time, because in many ways it's a birthing process, and I just saw the swing with the child. So that can also be, for some of you, a metaphor for connecting with your inner child. And look up that term. I work with it all the time, but look it up and see how that makes sense to you. I hope this was good for you. He says, make sure you tell them it's a new beginning. So if it feels weird and if it feels chaotic, know that you're in a process of new beginning, and birth can hurt birth can hurt. So, let me know if this made sense. Make comments if you wish. I love to read them. I wish you a fantastic month of September. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe if you would like to get notifications of my new videos. And good luck. And I look forward to seeing you in October. Take care. Bye.